Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor. It was Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning. Joe, how you doing today?
Good.
After you got your black dress on, you already know what's going to happen, huh?
What?
I'm about to kill Skip.
Oh.
Do I look scared to anybody out there?
You
Do
need
I
to be
look scared?
Oh, man.
Me?
Me and Steve, we went to that toolbox this morning.
Really? I think Steve went into the toolbox and pulled out his marionette string.
No, Skip, don't do that.
Yeah,
this is all me.
Here we go.
This is all me.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma of the Lakers will be live in studio with us coming up later in the show, but let's start with the NBA playoffs. The Western Conference Finals are set as the Rockets and the Warriors both ended their series last night. Chris Paul will finally play in his first conference finals after carrying Houston. He had 20 points in the fourth quarter and 41 overall, and he became the first player ever with 40 points, 10 assists, and 0 turnovers in a playoff game. Meanwhile, the Warriors are headed to the conference finals for the fourth straight year. The series kicks off Monday night in Houston. Shannon, how much of a shot do you give the Rockets to beat the Warriors?
I give them a very little shot. I said this at the beginning of the season, that if I believe if the Golden State Warriors are healthy, they're going to represent the Western Conference in the finals. And they, by what I've seen last night, Skip, they just have too much firepower. Houston is going to have to play 4 perfect games, and that might not be enough. You see, the way this Houston Rockets team is constructed, Daryl Morey, the general manager, put this team together to beat Golden State. Golden State put their team together to beat everybody. Skip, you look at this game last night. Anthony Davis goes for 34 and 19. True Holiday has a 27-point triple-double. And at one point, they're down by 26. Game 2, they lose. They have Holiday goes off. Anthony Davis goes off. Mirotic goes. And it's still not enough. You got to play perfect. Chris Paul is going to have to play like he played last night, and James Harden can't be sick. He can't. Because where are you going to go? They need James Harden to be MVP every night like he was in the regular season. I believe he's going to win the MVP because they've already voted. They should have waited after the playoff. But we'll talk about that another day, Joy. Chris,
we can wait until after the playoffs. Wait until after the finals, and we'll see.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that right now. I hate that I brought it up. You looking at the opening. I
had a big opening there.
I closed it down.
Yeah.
Chris Paul's going to have to play like he played last night. You look at the game, I'm watching the game, and Klay Thompson is going bonkers. Before everybody in Oracle can sit down, Klay Thompson has 19. And then you look up, he finishes with 22, 23, and then Steph Curry goes bonkers. KD is just methodically going along. Draymond almost has a triple-double, 19, 14, and 9. Houston, look, it'd be great. And they think they can just put up 53s and have 20 of them go in, they're going to win. And if that happens, Skip, if they put up 53s and 20 of them go in, they could possibly beat the Warriors. But right now, ask me to bet any amount of money that meant something to me. Well, if I'm betting my money, it means something to me, Joy. I wouldn't put one nickel on the Rockets to beat the Warriors.
So would you give the Rockets 2 games? That means one game. The case you just made is that your man LeBron James should win the Eastern Conference and then just concede the final.
No.
Just call in sick. Just say we give up. We did the best we could do. We give in. You guys are better than we are. How about that?
First of all,
well, that's the case you just made. You realize what the words coming out of your mouth?
No, Skip.
You give the Rockets, who had the best record in basketball, 0 shot or one game.
Who had the second best record? And we swept them.
That's called the Eastern Conference.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, look, do you realize that Toronto swept the Houston Rockets? But that ain't none of my business. I told you,
Toronto's built just for the regular season, right?
And LeBron is built for any season.
I don't think he's built for the final season.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, because he is in grave danger of falling to 3 and 6 in the NBA Finals. You can see it coming.
Or 4 and 5.
You talk about, which side of mouth are you talking out of?
First of all, we're not talking about LeBron. We're talking about the Warriors in Houston.
I just want to remind you the case that you're making so that as we go forward, you don't try to water down your case, because you just made a case that this team is unbeatable.
Remind me when we get to the LeBron topic. But right now, let's stick with this topic.
Yes. Okay, stick with this topic. So I am with you and then some on this topic, because I want everybody to realize just how fortunate the Houston Rockets were against the Utah Jazz, because I know you're not a big Ricky Rubio fan, but he made this team go. He was their quarterback, and he worked most effectively with that giant guy in the middle. He could feed off Rudy Gobert, the stifled tower. They had a thing going the way Russell Westbrook has it going with Steven Adams inside.
Yeah, Rubio is a better pick and roll player than Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, and he is a true point.
Yeah.
He can distribute the basketball, and he's wily, and he's savvy, and he's been around, and he's a veteran. And all of a sudden, he's gone for the whole Rockets season. Obviously, he was gone in the last game against the Thunder at Utah. And it changes everything about how they play basketball, because you take the kid Donovan Mitchell, who is the ultimate two guard, and you make him play the one. You make him bring the ball up and try to play point. And then you have a backup point guard named Dante Exum, who's got a lot of talent. And he pulls his hamstring in the last game. And all of a sudden, he's gone. So last night, I'm thinking, here come those Jazz, because Donovan Mitchell, we're going to talk about him a little later in the show, is just willing his team back into the game with 22 points in the third quarter, just the way he did 22 points in the third quarter against Russell Westbrook in that closeout game. And help me out, Shannon. What happened? Just when I thought the Jazz had them right where they wanted them, with 7:12 left in the game last night, Donovan Mitchell bangs knees with James Harden, and he's gone for the rest of the game. And I just sank in my chair. I've watched this whole series and this whole game to this point, and it was just starting to get interesting, and he's gone for the rest of the game. And, of course, the threes just rain from the rafters like confetti for the Houston Rockets, because the pressure is basically off. And I swear, Chris Paul's State Farm agent made a three last night. Didn't he make one? Let me finish. Let me finish. I can't even get through my. Do I have to reclaim my time?
No,
I think so.
You waste your time talking about LeBron and how you gonna win the finals.
I didn't waste any time. So I'm happy for Chris Paul, because nobody had taken longer to get to a conference final than this guy had. It took 86 playoff games and 13 seasons for Chris Paul to get to the conference, just the one conference finals, not the NBA finals, the conference. And I give it up to him. He scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. For him, that was a signature run.
Yes.
But it was done while Donovan Mitchell, mostly, he managed to play 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Mostly, he was not on the floor. So, am I impressed with what I saw last night? I'm not. So, it brings us back to Golden State. Houston has one advantage over Golden State, and only one advantage, and you know what that is? It's home court advantage. Guess what? I'm going to predict right out of the box that the home court advantage will be gone next Monday night. I say in one night, Golden State will go in there and do what Golden State often does to just about everybody they play. They will just seize home court advantage by the throat and rip it away and basically take it back home to Golden State, because I think they're going to win game one. I'm with you. I'll give them one game, the Rockets in this. I'll say Golden State in 5. But you understand that the Rockets are not going to be able to sneak up on Golden State. They have been talking all year.
They know they're coming.
Yeah, that new owner, Fertitta, he's been talking all year. We're going to shock the world. Okay, well, here you go. You got your shot now. And Daryl Morey is a big talker, and he even said right after the finals last year, Golden State is not unbeatable. We will figure out. We've got some tricks up our sleeves. And he had a bunch of tricks. He went and got CP3. Right. And he got Mbah Moute. And he got PJ Tucker. And he got, for what it's worth, Gerald Green. But he comes in and makes big shots. Yeah.
And
Joe Johnson. Okay, so you made yourself considerably better, but not good enough, because in the end, Steph Curry, we both said, if Steph can't come back, well, then maybe it's going to be interesting. So we just saw Steph Curry play 4 games against the Pelicans. He got into 4 games. He averaged 25 points a game on 44% three-point shooting. Does that work for you? Yeah. So here's the other problem I have. These are the 2 best offenses to meet in the modern era, because both average more than 112 points a game per 100 possessions, and we've never had that kind of a matchup before. Right. So I give you that. But one team plays basketball, and the other team plays hero ball, because I can just show you the numbers. Golden State is 3rd in the NBA in passes per game. Houston is 30th in passes per game. So you can see how that's evolving. So the Warriors are 20th in let me get this right. In passes, I can't read my writing here. Isolations, I know what it is.
Yeah.
In isolations per game. They're 20th in isolations, but the Rockets are first in the whole NBA in isolations.
With James Harden and CP3,
what?
of course.
Well, that's just terrible.
Yeah.
And then off-ball screens, which the Warriors just live on, they're first in the league.
Yeah.
So off the ball for Steph, it's going to be screen.
And Clay.
Yeah, and Clay. And the Rockets are 30th in off-ball screens. So one team is playing hero ball because it's all isolated. It's your turn, my turn. And the other team is moving the ball the best in the league.
Yes.
Who's going to win that matchup in the long term?
Hey, you can't outrun that ball. Because they pass it around. And the thing is, Skip, is that when you look at it, they have their third best player on the Warriors. Once got 37 points in a quarter.
Yep.
He once scored 60 points in 29 minutes. So they got three guys in the blink of an eye that can give you 40 in a given night. See, the concern that I have, let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, James Harden plays at his MVP level. Chris Paul is Chris Paul. Eric Gordon is struggling. He's struggling, Skip. He's shooting 31% from the three. That's not good enough. You're going to have your two superstars be superstars, and you're going to have to get that third guy because this is what we know. KD is going to give you 25 to 30 a night. Steph is going to give you 25 to 30 a night. Clay is going to be somewhere around 19 to 22 a night. Okay, who's your third guy to match up with him? And then what do you do with Draymond? See, the Golden State Warriors have something that no one else can do. They will take your strength and make it a weakness. Do you really want Capella chasing around Draymond Green outside? Because now you take away your strength, which is Capella guarding the rim. Because he did a great job of that during the series. He had averaging 3 or 4 blocks a night, Skip. But the Warriors, when they're healthy, they're tough to beat for the very reason that you said. They don't have ball-dominant players. They will give the ball up.
They will.
They average 30. They're averaging 30 assists a night in these playoffs against the Pelicans. How do you beat that?
Can't. And speaking of Capella, who has had a breakout season, these teams played 3 times in the regular season, but the last time they played was way back on January 20th, and the Rockets won that game. And Clint Capella, unfortunately for the Rockets, said after the game, "We are the better team." You don't think that resonates to this moment in the Golden State locker room? So they got the owner and the GM and the breakout center, Clint Capella, all saying, "Here we come, Golden State." You can't do that.
No.
So there's no sneak up factor. There's no huge upset factor here where, the Golden State Warriors weren't ready for you. They're going to be more than ready. In fact, I'm sure they would love to just go out and sweep these guys just the way LeBron just did Toronto. I'm sure they'd like to just spank them and send them home.
You better be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Because you've been talking all this time. Now it's going to be very, very disappointing. Because I hope you know, just because you won 65 or 64 games, whatever you won, without winning a title, this was wasted. Just like Toronto, they wasted a season. They didn't even get to the conference. At least, no. That's not what you're playing for. Daryl Morey did not construct this team to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
He constructed this team to take down the Warriors because he knew they would be in his path in order for him to win the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
So you're doing all this talking. Daryl Morey, like you said, Skip, he's done a lot of talking. He was talking when they weren't even close to reaching the finals. So he's going to be doing even more talking now. But what you have to do, and think about it, Draymond, let's say Draymond is their 4th best player. Skip, he gave you 19, 14, and 9 last night. There have been 3 games that he was an assist or a rebound away from a triple-double. That's your 4th best player.
Yeah.
He's your 4th option.
And, of course, they have the 1st best player in all of basketball.
No.
Tough to beat.
No. You can't be the 1st best player, and you hadn't made All-NBA since 2014. That can't be you. Oh, no. How dare you say that?
Who's the reigning Finals MVP?
What,
it's that guy.
Now, how the Eagles going to have the best player in the NFL sitting on the bench then?
Because
I know a guy that beat the guy that everybody says was the guy, and he took him down.
You know what? Thank you for making the case I keep making to you every day on this show. I told you Nick Foles deserves to start over Carson Wentz. There you go. Thank you.
Is that an old
Case
picture?
closed.
Is that an old picture of Steph? Steph got to look. That's an old picture. But anyway, Skip, I want you to stop this now. Now, you're going to have people at home actually believing that Kevin Durant is better than LeBron.
Well,
and you and I know that's not the case.
They already know.
No, they don't.
I'm just reinforcing your opinions.
No,
Yes.
don't.
I'm validating.
No, that's fake news.
No, it is.
News.
It's not even news. It's old news.
You're right. It's not news.
Old news. It's from last year's finals.
Don't do that.
Well, he was the MVP.
Skip, that's
you know what? Nine.
They
got the best player.
Just so I know. So Cornbread Maxwell was the MVP of an NBA Finals. Did anybody ever think he was the best player in the game? We know what the king is, Skip.
The king was going head to head with the new king, and the new king won the MVP. Sorry.
But we've never seen a team like this. Tell me, I want somebody to do it, bloggers, whatever you want to do. Tell me 10 shooters better than those 3 guys at Golden State. They got the 3 of the top 10 shooters of all time in NBA history in their prime.
You just suggested that LeBron is about to be 4-5 in the NBA Finals. That would mean he would win this Finals. Well, I don't know which side of mouth are we.
Well, I mean, we've seen LeBron take down a 73-win team.
We have.
With no All-Stars on his team. Because the year he took them down, Joe, you know he didn't have another All-Star on his team. Kevin Love didn't make the All-Star team that year. Kyrie didn't make the All-Star team. And he took them down, Skip. He took them down. You do know that, right?
It's kind of like Michael Jordan, that last playoff run in Chicago. He had no All-Stars on.
Well, if Scottie Pippen had to miss those 35 games, you got to give context, Joy. Joe, I love context. That's what I do. I love context.
Scottie Pippen didn't make the All-Star team.
If you miss 35 games, are you supposed to make the All-Star team?
Interesting. So, back to the Houston Rockets.
Yes.
These are the problems I've had with this team from the start. You have too many demons floating around and too many psyches because James Harden has big demons. If we can go back to 2015, the closeout game 5 at Golden State. Do you remember that game? James Harden set the NBA playoff record for turnovers in a game with 12 in that game. And obviously his shooting was the usual disaster of 2 for 11 and 0 for 3 from 3. And then I'm still not sure James Harden has recovered from what happened in the closeout game 6 in his building last year against my Spurs. There was no Kawhi Leonard. There was no Tony Parker. And my Spurs won 114-75 as James Harden shot 2 for 11 and had 6 more turnovers and scored a grand total of 10 points in that game. So you don't think that's haunting him?
It should. And he has to try to exercise those demons, Skip, by playing well in this game. And I think this will, if he were to take down this team, I think that would go a long way to repairing the damage done by last year's game.
I'd say.
But they do have some perimeter defenders. Trevor Ariza can defend. P.J. Tucker can defend. And Bob Moute can defend. Chris Paul is the best defensive point guard in all of basketball. Clint Capella is a rim protector. So they have some pieces. But if they're to win this series, Skip, they think they need to outscore Golden State. I do not believe that you can match Golden State firepower bucket for bucket because you might hold them to 50 and then they go off for 80 in the second half. Or you might hold them to, hopefully you can hold them to 60, but they're capable of getting 80 and a half at the at the blink of an eye because they got 3 guys that can catch fire and it's good night Irene. So they got the work cut out for them, but P.J. Tucker, I'm not P.J. Tucker, Eric Gordon, 2 for 8, 1 for 5, 5 points. That's not, if he's your third best player, he can't give you 5 points to beat that team. He's going to need to give you at least 20 a night in order for you to come close to this Golden State Warriors.
Well,
only man that can come close, you know. He caked up right now.
Really?
Yeah, on that, he in that tube with that vibranium running through his veins. Watch him come out Sunday night.
One of his best friends is Chris Paul III, who once presided over losing a 3-1 lead to the Houston Rockets, who didn't even have all these players, right?
Yeah.
So that sticks in his craw and psyche. And again, I'm happy for him getting to finally a conference finals. I think that's as far as it's going to go, and I think he'll just be happy to be there.
No, you can't just be happy to be there. No. I mean, my first time I was on Rodeo Drive, I wasn't happy to be there. I had to go in one of them stores and buy something, Joy, even though it was over. But yeah, I had to.
What did you buy?
It was overpriced, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Shirt. It was a Versace shirt, I think.
Yeah, Versace, like Tom Brady wears. Yeah.
Skip, you know that jacket was ugly. That inlay jacket was ugly. I don't care it was ugly.
That was
It was ugly.
Versace.
I tell you what, you need to bury it.
Bury it?
Yeah.
You're still talking about it.
It's ugly still. Yeah, I talk about a lot of ugly things.
I think you were jealous.
No. I want to go, though, Skip. I do want to go one time.
Yeah?
Yeah. We ought to go next year.
Should have the Met?
Yeah.
Well,
You have to be invited.
I know. Skip.
and we'd walk the red carpet together?
No. I'm gonna be so sharp. I gotta walk by myself. Gotta be sharp. Ooh.
Cam Newton was there too.
Yeah, I know. They invited Cam and they get your boy an invite. But Chadwick Boseman going too far, Joy. You saw what he had on?
Wait, it's the theme of
that Wakanda. Look at, bruh, you not king. Wakanda doesn't really exist.
I mean,
he's taking it too
I
far.
don't know about that. LeBron's
Really?
on the vibranium.
He right now just tubed up.
Yeah. He got a new supply probably for the playoffs.
Don't do that, Skip. Skip, I see what you're trying to imply, Skip Bailey. You're trying to be sneaky. Now, you need to stop that.
Will the Sixers stay alive with a win in Boston tonight? We'll discuss that next.